Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So my last video, which was like a while ago actually, I was pregnant with my son who is now 1 year old. He's over there, the little one that's sitting down there, right there. But yeah, so I was pregnant with him and I was making sure that I was continuing my fitness journey throughout my pregnancy. Let me just tell y'all, it did not continue. I did not continue my fitness journey, unfortunately, while I was pregnant. I was too tired, too sick, and I just couldn't do it. So I did not continue it. And I mainly stayed in bed and rested and, of course, went to work until it was time for me to give birth. Now, guys, I gave birth at 41 weeks. I was so, oh my God, because it's like 41 weeks, like he just did not want to come out. And it was so hard because, oh my God, I was sick. I was nauseous. My stomach was huge. I was always in pain. My pelvic area. For the moms that know, like when your stomach is all the way out there and you're in like your 40th week of being pregnant, let me just tell you, that pain on your hips and your pelvic area is like, oh my God, it's so painful to walk. Like you can't run, and it's just and then your feet and your back start hurting, and so it's just like the only thing you can do really is lay in bed and just relax all day. So I stopped working like probably 2 weeks before I had my son. So I worked pretty much the whole pregnancy. So I pretty much had to push through that pain and going to work and throwing up in the morning. There was times where I got to work and I parked in the parking lot and I threw up in the parking lot because it's so much. Like being pregnant and working, I would never ever do that again. Next time I get pregnant, I'm not working at all. So yeah, let me switch this angle. But yeah, so like I was saying, I am not gonna be pregnant and working anymore because that was like one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, truly. Like I'm just not doing that anymore. So yeah, so I had him at 41 weeks, and when he came out, oh my gosh, he was so big to me because my first son was 6 pounds 6 ounces, and he ended up being 7 pounds 9 ounces, so almost 8 ounces. And he was, unfortunately, sunny side up is what the doctor referred to it as. He was basically coming out because when the baby come out, they're supposed to come out and their face is facing up towards it's facing up, and then the back of their head is facing down towards your butt. This is how do I say this? I hope y'all get what I'm talking about. But he came out the other way, so his face was facing down towards my butt area, and his head was facing up. So when he was coming out, I felt so much pain in my back. Mind you, I had got epidural because honey, I can't do the pain. I need an epidural. So I did the epidural and I wasn't feeling no pain at first. Of course, when you first go to the hospital because you're having those contractions, you feel that pain, which is, oh my God, terrible. And so it started off, let me tell you about how my water broke. So my water broke first. It was like the middle of the night. And I woke up to, it was like a rubber band had popped inside of me. That's what it felt like. And then I'll go to the bathroom, and it's like water was like gushing out. My water didn't break, like, you know how it break and then it just pour out. Mine was just more like gushing out. So I had already knew that meant my water broke, because that's how it happened with my first son. So after that, I woke my husband up. I was like, my water broke and it's time to go to the hospital. My husband was so tired, but I'm like, look, we gotta go. And then, you know, I'm getting ready, putting on my clothes, and then that's when the contractions started hitting me. And it started off like period cramps. So at first it was like, okay, bearable. And then when we got in the car, oh my God, it got worse. It started getting more and more tight, and like, oh my God, that pain. And so then we got to the hospital. I could barely walk. We get there, you know, we at the front, we tell them I'm about to have a baby. They hurry up and get me to the back. At this point, my contractions are really bad. And I'm like, I'm on the bed, on my knees on the bed. And the doctor come in, he's like, if you want epidural, you're gonna have to change that position you're in, because the position that you're in, which I was on my knees, on my all fours, kind of like this. And he was like, you're gonna have to change that position you're in, because that's gonna make the baby come really fast, and you're not gonna have no time to get any epidural. And I was like, oh heck no. So I turned around and I sat down on the bed and I laid back. And then, you know, we got to the other room, and then the doctor started you know, doing their little doctor process. And then I had got the epidural. So after I got the epidural, I didn't feel too much pain at all. And then the next day, because, you know, once you get an epidural, it takes forever to have the baby after that. So if next time, if I get pregnant again, I'm gonna do it natural. I am not going through all of that waiting again. We're going to get this baby up out of there. Because I can feel him coming when I first got to the hospital. I not feel him coming, but I could feel like it was time. Like, it was almost time. So, but the epidural slowed it down. And he didn't end up coming till, like, the whole next day. And so I'm like, ugh. And so, you know, at the hospital, they always trying to push for you to get a C-section. And it's like, bro, like, I didn't have a C-section with my first son. I'm not going to have a C-section with this one. But they just, oh, the baby's heart is low. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, this is, I'm like, look, I'm going to push this baby out. He is just fine. I can do it. And this is what we're going to do. I'm not getting a C-section. And she's like, well, what comes to mind when you hear C-section? I'm like, I don't want it. That's what comes to mind. Like, so they got the gist that I wasn't finna let them cut me. And so I ended up, you know, doing little things to prepare my body, that I know, you know, because you know your body better than any doctor or anybody. You know your body. So I started practicing pushes. I don't recommend doing this. This is what I do personally. I started practicing pushing. So I'll start pushing a little bit, just a little bit. Not to push the baby out, but to prepare my body for pushing. So I start pushing using that muscle. And then, you know, next thing you know, the doctor come in. She checked my cervix, I think that's what it's called. And it was like 8 centimeters. And she was like, oh, we not there yet, you know, because you got to get to 10 centimeters. And I'm like, I feel like it's there. Like, I feel like I'm ready. I felt his head down there, like, ready to come out. And so I'm like, she's saying I'm 8 centimeters. I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm pretty much there. So I'm still pushing. Next thing you know, I'm pushing. And I'm like, and I asked the nurse, because the doctor keep coming in saying I'm not ready yet. So I asked the nurse, I was like, can you check? Because I think I feel his head, you know, because I was feeling that pressure down there. You know, even though you got the epidural, you don't feel no pain, but you feel pressure. So I felt that pressure down. I'm like, I feel like his head is right there. So I asked her, and she checked. And guess what? His head was right there. So that first doctor, she didn't know what the heck I don't know. Some doctors, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, you know your body. So she went to go tell the other doctor that the head was there and it was ready and it was time. And so I'm pushing still, trying to, you know, prepare it. And so then, you know, it's time, and then I push him on out. and my mom was there, my husband was there. It was nice, it was beautiful, and he came out and he was beautiful. Here's some pictures, some video. Yes, he was beautiful, and I was just so happy. And he came out so light-skinned like his dad. My mom was like, oh my God, he's all boy. Because, you know, the private parts, you can definitely tell he's a boy, because he definitely got his dad in him. And we had a good delivery. I thanked the doctors, and we all went to the other, they send you to another room and start doing all the other process of, you got your baby, and then you start doing, they put you on, get you the little breast pump, put you on the breast pump so you can start pumping, the milk or getting it ready. Because, for me, it don't come out right away. Like, my breast milk didn't come out right away. It didn't come out right away with my first son either. Mine's usually come out the next day or the next few days. So I think it came out the next day. Because the first few pumps, you only get colostrum. I think that's what it's called, colostrum or colostrum or something like that. And, it's just a little clear liquid. And that's like, the first few, you still give the baby that, but your milk come in like the next day or the next few days. So, and oh my God, when you first start breast pumping, it's so painful in the beginning because it cramps your stomach, because it's help when you breast pumping, it helps your uterus contract and go back to its normal size. So that's the good thing about breastfeeding as well, because if you don't breastfeed, it takes a little bit longer for your uterus to contract and go back to its regular size. So yeah, it's a little painful at first, breastfeeding. The things us women have to go through, my God. But yeah, so that was a bit painful. But my baby was so beautiful. I was so happy. Oh my God. And then when I brought him home to meet his brother, oh my God, his brother was in love and he was happy. He was like, my brother, my brother. This is some pictures of them together. Yeah, but it's just so nice. Okay, and so once I had my son, I started off around 220, 221. And this is what my stomach was looking like, and this is what the body was looking like. And then I knew that I was going to get right on my diet, and I was going to get right to fitness and working out, and this is what I did. And I changed up my eating. I was doing healthier meals, and then I started going into doing one meal a day. So that's called the OMAD diet. So I started doing that. So the OMAD diet is when you eat one meal at one particular time that day, but it's a big meal, and you want to make sure you get all your nutrients within that meal, all your protein within that meal, and you want to make sure you get all your calories within that meal as well, because you don't want to be under eating. So I had a big one healthy meal for that day, and the rest of the day I just fast, and I drink my water, I drink my tea, I drink my coffee. If I'm super hungry, I was having protein shakes. I really like to drink the Premier protein shakes. They're really good. The chocolate kind is my favorite, but all of them are pretty good too. And so I was doing that. Then I started to do and then I would switch it. I wouldn't just stay at one meal a day. I would do one meal a day, and then I would do 2 meals a day, probably every other week. And then I would go back to doing 1 meal a day. But I just wouldn't do 3 meals a day. I felt like that was just too much eating throughout the day. I think 2 meals was my max. And then, and then I started working out. I started doing jump roping. I started doing skating. I started getting on the treadmill. I started doing weightlifting. I was dancing. I was walking. I was hiking. I was doing whatever I could to stay active, and with kids, it's a little bit tough, especially with the newborn, because you got to be up at night with them throughout the night, making their bottles or breast pumping, because I didn't breastfeed from him on me. Like, I would pump and then I would give him the milk. That was my preference. So you know, you would have to get up and get their bottle prepped and warm their bottle and change their Pampers throughout the night. And then the next day you get up and you got to go work out and you got to go do what you got to do and you got to eat healthy and you got to, so it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's worth it because you're getting back to your normal self or your better self, you know, your good looking version of you. You know, this is what I look like now. I'm gonna give y'all a better view, but this is what I look like now. I was looking like this before. Ooh, this and look, I want to say I still loved myself then, but I was going through it, y'all. I didn't like looking the way I was looking. This is not healthy. I don't recommend it to nobody, but I just didn't like the way that I was looking. I prefer to look a certain way, you know, to look more chiseled, to look more thin, and that's just what makes me feel like myself and what makes me feel happy and what makes me feel beautiful. So, you know, you may be different. So don't even take it like, you know, you got to look a certain way to feel beautiful or whatever. This is just for me and how I feel about myself and how I think I look my best at. And so my goal right now, I'm currently 175. I stumbled between 175 and 177 at the moment. But we started because I took a little break because it's currently New Year's and I had to take a little break because I had a little fun, you know, it was Christmas and it was New Year's and, you know, so I'm getting back to the dieting and doing what I got to do to get to my goal, which is 150 pounds. Really want to be like 135, but you know, we're going to start off at 150. That'll be the goal. And then so 150 is the goal. So right now, like 175 to 177-ish. And when I had my son, I was 220. When I started the fitness journey, I was 218. So I didn't jump right into it. I gave myself like a week or two to just rest after I had the baby. And then I got into it because I was like, okay, we got to get it. We got to get it. So we did. And I'm so proud of myself because I lost, what was that, 41 pounds? From 218 to 177. I think that's 41 or 42 pounds. I'm just so happy and so proud of myself. And it was so hard, let me tell you. But I was dedicated and I was like kind of obsessed with it. It's easier to reach a goal when you're obsessed with that goal. So what I did was I would watch weight loss videos all day, every day. I would watch model videos all day, every day. I would watch videos on fitness and working out and eating healthy and dieting and weight loss journeys and all of that. So I was like obsessed. And that helped me stay consistent and stay on track. Because even when I didn't feel motivated, I would go watch a video on weight loss and all of that. And it would help me stay motivated and get up off my butt and go work out. So that's what really helped me, being obsessed with it. So this year, we're still obsessed. We're still going to reach our goal. We got like 27 more pounds to go and we're going to do it, you know? So I'm going to bring you guys along on my journey. I'm going to let you guys see how I balance my weight loss journey while being a mom of 2 under 5. Ooh, ooh, ooh. These 2 little babies be having me in a chokehold, but you know, I wouldn't have had it any other way. They're my babies and I love them. They make my fitness journey harder because I have to do more, but it's just like I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it for them because I want them to see fitness is important in life. So we're gonna do that. But thank y'all for watching. Have a good one. Oh yeah, let me show y'all my body and what it look like now. Come back here. This is what I look like now. So I'm just like really proud of myself. I did so good and we did this and we're going to continue to do it. We got more weight to lose. So hopefully you guys come along. And this is the little guy. Yes, so hopefully you guys come along and see the rest of my journey. And this is the journey to 150 pounds. Make sure you subscribe and like and comment down below. Bye.